Matillion ETL version 1.58 is now publicly available to all customers. In this video, we're going to show you what's new. In this version, we're introducing the Git Narrative Difference tool for all platforms. There's also an update to see references to jobs, shared jobs, and components within a project and find if they're used by other jobs. There are updates to the Iterator components and to the Google Analytics query component. For Snowflake, rewrite table and table output components have been updated. For Snowflake and Redshift, the Oracle output component has been updated. And for BigQuery, the JDBC table metadata to grid component is now available. For all platforms, the Narrative Git Difference tool is now available. The Git integration feature in Matillion ETL has been upgraded to offer users a conflicts narrative difference tool. This suggestion has come from the Matillion community's ideas portal. How it works: if when merging a branch into master, you encounter the conflicts were found while merging error message, click resolve and click the action view to open the conflicts difference tool. Within this tool, Matillion ETL offers a breakdown of the conflicts between branches. Users can click Show Full View for a complete list of components and their parameters. However, by default, only the differences are shown. The label column lists all jobs, components, and parameters that are part of the conflict. The columns Our, Base, and Theirs provide clarity over which branch and which commits include which differences. To customize the conflicts difference tool, click on the downward arrow in the upper right dialog and select columns. From here, users can choose which columns will be shown. As of version 1.58, the columns include label, Ours, Base, and Theirs. A future release will allow users to select which version of the diff to move forward and resolve conflicts with, on a granular, per change basis. The next implemented feature again comes from the Matillion Ideas portal. Jobs, shared jobs, and components can now be referenced with regards to where they are used by other jobs. If a job is called by other jobs, you can now right-click on the job and select View Jobs referencing this job, where you can see a list of all the jobs that reference the job, as well as the descriptions and job paths. You can now also do the same for components, either on the canvas or in the Components panel. You can right-click to view jobs using this component. This will display a list of all the jobs where this component is used. This feature is also available for shared jobs. Also, users can now optionally rename job references. You can select whether the renaming of a job renames all instances where that job is referenced, or just for the current job. The File Iterator component has been updated to include another user-requested feature. The Variables property now offers last modified as a selectable file attribute. When selected, this last modified date is formatted as ISO 8601 with a UTC indicator. The Table Iterator component has also been updated. Users can now interact with a mode property and select either basic or advanced mode. Subsequent component properties will be available depending on this selection. Similar to how the query components work, basic mode requires users to select settings in additional properties, whereas advanced mode offers a single query property where users can manually add SQL. All 5 Iterator components have been updated to include a stop on condition property when running in sequential concurrency. If stop on condition is set to yes, additional properties related to composing the conditions will be available. please refer to the component documentation for help with these properties. The Google Analytics query has been updated with an API property. This property has two selectable options, each of which will determine the available data sources that users can pull data from, to include Google Analytics new version, Google Analytics 4. For Snowflake, the rewrite table and table output components have been updated. The sort order property now has an enhanced UI for users to select columns by which to sort, as well as the ascending and descending sort order per column. For Snowflake and Redshift, the Oracle output component has been updated. The component now has a port property, where users must specify a port number for their Oracle endpoint. The default port number is 1521. The JDBC table metadata to grid component is now available for Matillion ETL for BigQuery. And that's all the new features available in Matillion ETL version 1.58. Please subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with the latest release videos. And for more information on everything covered in this release, please visit the Matillion documentation site.